He's not my life partner, if that is your worry. Just my dead one.
You are? Well, we're three now. No, I'm not staying. It's a big country.
Not anymore.
If you were in that situation, if some type of pandemic is going on, we know that there's a virus. Would you have spent time doing that, knowing that you're severely exposing yourself to whatever this virus is by picking up your parents? You know, when people die, they generally lose their fluids and everything like that. So you're picking up these two dead bodies to bury them. What did you think about that?
I mean, I understood the sentiment of it. I wouldn't have done.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Incredibly excited to speak to you all about a new limited series on MGM Plus entitled Earth
Abides.
And like many people out there, we of course spent a lot of time reviewing the series from, and there's a running joke out there that a lot of people said, we're going to unsubscribe from NGM Plus after From is over. So in addition to giving you our thoughts about this episode and a recap, we're also going to rate it and at the end tell you, should you cancel your MGM subscription or not? Without further ado, let's get into this particular review.
MGM is never gonna contact us now. Okay. So the episode begins with our character Ish. He's some type of scientist geologist. So he is recovering from a snake bite. He went out and was looking for a type of rock, and he got bitten by a snake. And so he goes home and he's trying to recover. He's been out of touch for weeks, which is revealed by the state of his car. It's extremely dirty, and later on in the episode, we find out that there has been a global pandemic that started weeks ago.
Yeah. And while he was bit by that snake, he was not able to seek any medical care because he dropped his phone. So the only thing he knew how to do was to kind of hurry up and get home. He tried to suck some of the blood out. So he is at home literally recuperating and recovering all by himself with no medical attention.
But he did what he was supposed to do. You're supposed to suck out the venom, spit it out, drink as much water as possible.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. So then when he wakes up, he's kind of like, God, I've been out of it for some time. And he begins driving and he realizes that something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He stops at a store. And when he's at this store, he can see bodies throughout the parking lot. He sees military vehicles,
packages, and just random stuff that it just doesn't look right?
Yeah.
And so then he sees a sign that says shelter in place, government is suspended.
Which was crazy to me.
Right.
You know, I guess things got that bad where the government was like, y'all motherfuckers on your own.
So it's like, what would you do if you woke up from just healing yourself in the woods and all of a sudden you've missed out on like the chaos and the information? I mean, just crazy.
It was crazy.
So just ask yourself, like, you know, what would you have done? How would you have reacted in that situation?
Yeah. And so he decides that he's going to, of course, drive to his parents' home,
check on them,
to check on his family.
Mm-hmm.
And when he arrives, he sees that whatever went on has taken his parents out. Mm-hmm. And this was a pivotal moment for me, and a moment I think we should pause and kind of discuss, because we were talking about this off camera. Not only does he go into the house and he could clearly smell that they've been dead, because
they've been dead a while.
Yeah, there's flies buzzing, making noise. You could tell it stinks and it smells in there. But he goes in, sees his parents, and he decides that he's going to try to give his parents some dignity by burying them. We see him then pick up their dead bodies, go outside, dig a makeshift grave to bury his parents in, which I think is sweet and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But I could not help, and we were talking about this offline, if you were in that situation, if some type of pandemic is going on, we know that there's a virus, would you have spent time doing that, knowing that you're severely exposing yourself to whatever this virus is by picking up your parents? You know, when people die, they generally lose their fluids and everything like that. So you're picking up these two dead bodies to bury them. What did you think about that?
I mean, I understood the sentiment of it. I wouldn't have done that. I think I would have just taken some mementos from my parents' houses and just, you know, family books or important things, and I just would have burned the house down.
Mm. You would have burned it down?
Yeah, like cremation. I mean, I'm thinking about my parents. My parents. I don't think I could handle
Mm.
their bodies by myself. So I would have no other choice but to like burn the house down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about that sounds horrible. But I mean, it's killing two birds with one stone. It's, I'm sending them off as dignified as I can, and I'm scratching that itch of wanting to be a pyromaniac.
Man, I mean,
So yeah.
all I could think about was just like how like not safe that is to do, because
Mm.
he's just woken up. He doesn't know what the disease is. He doesn't know how the disease is spread. And I thought that was kind of
But
weird.
right, but that goes both ways though. If you don't know anything about this disease and you don't know how it's going to spread, there's not going to be as much risk aversion,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So he's in a world of chaos basically. He doesn't completely wrap his head around it yet cuz he's grieving, but things are fucked. So he is off on some type of journey.
And this was crazy how they
yeah, yeah.
cuz he's going through the stages of grief, you can tell, and he's in his car driving up the highway
Raging.
doing close to like 160 miles an hour. At first, when I saw that, I was like, he's going to try to kill himself. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, he was just tense, angry, mad at the world, didn't know who not to be mad at, didn't know what to do. So he's just driving crazy. And then he ends up in Las Vegas, which is probably one of the most interesting scenes in this particular episode.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so basically he's doing this, I guess he's on this road trip to escape both his reality and
To see what's out there, I guess.
see what's out there, search for some kind of human connection or whatever. Because, I just thought about this. He doesn't know what his relationship with his parents was like before he left. But anyway, he's in Las Vegas and he meets two people in a hotel, Milton and Anna, two survivors who were in town for conferences when the pandemic happened.
Let me say this. This is the crazy part. So he goes to the hotel. The hotel is still running and functioning because it has like a generator apparently. So he goes to the hotel, he gets butt naked, he gets in the hot tub, he's like kind of relaxing. He goes to like the bar in the hotel.
I mean, but wouldn't
butt
you?
naked.
Wouldn't you? I saw that and I was like, my man.
They just had to have him butt naked. That's all that was.
You saw butt cheeks, so
yeah. So he's there, and then that's when you say he runs into Milton and Anna.
Mm-hmm. So they're stuck in this hotel where they witness their families die. Basically, Anna over Zoom, which is horrifying, and then Milton, his family was with him in the hotel. So Anna tries to seduce him.
It's like this weird dynamic. It's like multiple times she tries to engage like sexual activity with them, and Anna and Milton make it very clear that, look, even though we're together, we're not together.
Yeah.
We're only together because we are the only people that survived in this particular hotel.
They think that they're the only ones who are alive on the planet. I mean, I guess I don't know.
But this is the crazy part to me, Candace, and I want to get your thoughts on this. So Ish has been spending maybe it looks like a day or so with them, and Milton is cooking breakfast. Anna makes a joke and is like, he's a terrible cook. Nevertheless, they sit down and there's a conversation that transpires, and basically they kind of ask him, how long are you going to stay? And he's like, I'm not staying long. My goal is to maybe replenish a little bit, and I'm leaving to continue to search and see what's going on. This is when we discover that Milton and Anna have no desire or plan to leave. Their goal is, we're going to hang out in this hotel until all the resources and all the power and stuff cuts off. And then after about 2 or 3 days of starving, we're going to commit suicide. And Milton raises his shirt and shows a firearm.
He's like, we have an understanding. This is,
I thought that was crazy. What did you think about that?
To me, I was like almost enraged because where is your fight for survival? Like, I know some people, I mean, granted, they watched their families die. It's very depressing. But for me, I would have this feeling of like, I am going to strive as much as I can to survive.
Yeah.
And make a life for myself.
Especially, to me, it would have been a pick-me-up to see
Right.
another person come. I would be like, oh, that
Yeah.
means that there's probably more people out here. You know, that would have been a pick-me-up. I would have been felt like it was a blessing that we were in this hotel when this happened. I got somebody else who's coming who seems cool. We might be able to figure some shit out, right? But it's go ahead.
I guess from Anna and Milton's perspective, there's no point, because there's no point to start anew.
I guess
if
so.
you have your family is gone, then you know there kind of isn't a
Nothing
point.
to live
So
forward to.
in the comments, y'all, if you're watching this, tell me, who do you relate to more in this situation? Do you relate to Anna and Milton, or do you relate to Ish?
Yeah, that's a good question. So he leaves. He eventually leaves like he is designed to, but he's on the highway again.
But but did you hear the 2 gunshots as he was leaving the hotel?
Yeah.
So did they like?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. God, now that you say that, damn, I wish you had said that sooner, because I need to know, was that the gunshots from within the hotel or was that on the outside?
It sounded, I mean, I immediately thought that it was from the hotel because he had the gun. We didn't see anybody else around with the gun. What outside the hotel would make a gunshot noise? But, you know, maybe Milton decided, yeah, we're not going to wait all that long. Let's go. I'm going to kill her and then kill my. I mean, I don't know. We'll never know.
Dang, that's a good question, Candace. Dang. In the comments, what do y'all think happened?
Please.
So he leaves and he's flying again on the freeway. This dude
screaming and raging. I mean,
150, 60 miles an hour.
We've all been there.
And he sees this dog crossing the street. He slams on his brakes and he basically adopts the dog and he calls him Lucky. I laughed because our dog's name is Lucky.
Yes. It's very reminiscent of I Am Legend. Lucky has given him sense of purpose and he decides he's going to go home. He's going to drive back home. And we don't know where home is. It looks like
I thought it was his parents' home. I don't know, because I know that his home looks like it's in the woods and stuff. He wasn't there. But to me, it looked like his parents' home, or maybe he just took somebody else's damn house. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It could have been, I mean, the wood area. I mean, he could have been, I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
So he's got some purpose now. It gives Wilson from Castaway. I don't know. But he gets home and he kind of, you see him determined to survive. He develops a routine.
And then remember, he visited that whole not hotel, but the library, and he starts to get all these like survival books, how
hunting,
to fish,
fishing, basic survival. And over time, you see him a year later, and he's still grieving. You know,
he's grieving, living. He's jogging, running. It really had that I Am Legend feel where Will Smith was like all by himself, exercising, working out, living life,
trying to. Make a life for himself.
A sense of normalcy.
He's playing with Lucky. He's swimming after he's taking the cold plunge, and trying to overcome his loneliness. But he is still. I mean, what do human beings? We need human contact,
we need interaction,
right?
And then this is when we see Lucky, his dog, barking. He goes over because he's like, "What the hell are you barking at?" You know what I'm saying? And he looks across the way and he sees. It looks like a fireplace. He sees smoke. It looks like coming from a fireplace or another home, which is an indication of life.
Not far away.
Very close. And then the episode ends.
Right.
Yes. What would you rate this episode? And we would always say, would you give it 1 to 10 talisman? What are we going to give it for this show? Like, what is going to be the...
I think it's too early to tell. Snake bites?
I was going to say rattlesnakes. How many rattlesnakes would you give it?
Snake bites, rattlesnakes? I would give this out of 5.
No, out of 10.
Out of 10, I would give this episode like an 8. It was a very strong episode. I think the acting is going to be really good in this episode. I mean, this is the type of I love shit like this. Like, if the world ends and dystopia, I can't wait to see. I don't think this is going to be a show about how the pandemic happened. I think it's going to be like, okay, what's happening with the people, you know, is there going to be hoarding of resources? Like, I've watched movies and shows like this where it's like, especially the previous show, The Last of Us, where there's hoarding of resources. Is he going to rope off the town he's in? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm really excited, and I'm thinking I don't think we should cancel our MGM Plus. I think we should keep it. I think you
We're
should
supposed to
keep.
save that. I gotta give my rating and then we decide.
Okay,
All right,
well.
so my rating, I would give it 8 rattlesnake bites too.
Mhm.
This episode spent a lot on solidifying who he was as a
Mhm.
person, kind of showing how desolate and things are and the gravity of the situation. I enjoyed it. I think the acting is going to be good. I think overall moving forward it's going to be pretty solid. And like you, people wondering should you cancel your MGM subscription or not now that From is over? What do you think?
No, I definitely would keep your MGM subscription for this show.
Yes.
I think it's going to be well worth it. I have a really good feeling about this show.
And I'm with
really
you.
good feeling about
And
this
I'm
show.
with you 100%. I say that everyone should keep their MGM membership because I think this is going to be a good show. And the more love we show, the more likely it is that they are to re-up the show for the
Mhm.
next season. And that's going to conclude our video today for episode 1
Of
of
Eartha Bites.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and catch us in the video because now our watch has ended. Peace.